Quick project today in the middle of a couple large ones. Kind of a distraction project. Sometimes want to walk away from big projects and just do something small for somebody. So what I'm going to do is put together a built-in desk. It's going to be basically a big floating shelf that goes into a niche area that has some smaller shelves above it. So in just a minute here, I'll show you the materials. Getting ready to use, and we're going to stain it up. Use two different stains on it. We'll start with a honey oak and then rub a colonial maple over top, because the existing shelves have a colonial maple look to it, so it's kind of an orange tint. So you'll see what I mean here shortly. All right, we're going to use these this 5/4 glued pine, edge glued pine surface. So like I said, it is the 5/4, so it is thicker. I originally was going to use plywood and just double up the edges, but this wasn't too bad. It's nice, sturdy. It'll stain up nicely. We'll put a larger, thicker edge on it to sort of hide the cleats that will surround it to hold it up. So getting ready to unwrap this now. Here, so it's all unwrapped. It's going to use this This is a 1x3. I'm probably not going to leave it quite that thick. We'll take down some of it, but you can see that once it's glued, and then we'll double up the edge behind it to support it so it stays vertical. And once it's stained, it'll blend right in and make it look like a really thick piece. Got the noses of the stair treads left over from the project where I did covered some stair treads with oak covers. I had to rip off the nosing of some of those, so I got this left, which is the same 5/4. We're going to use these as the cleats to hold up the surface on the back and the two sides. To add this, the space that this is going into, distance, it's going to be 31 inches deep once we get the molding on the outside, and from the corner out to the front, when I went and measured, is out at about 1 inch. So what I'm going to do is take about 16 inches off of this, and then I'll end up modifying it on site just to be sure that it fits in there nicely. Getting ready to do that now. Painful. All right, so here's the front edge. Just doubled it up, screwed it in, and glued. And then we'll get ready to put the 1x3 on front. Up front, you can see on the side there, they're just doubled up the front to support that. There is a slight gap in between, but what I'm going to do is just rub a little bit of glue in there and sand it, and that'll fill that in nicely. All right, here's a good look. Just rounded over the top and the bottom, so nothing sharp on it. So it blends in pretty good. Put a little bit of the glue in with the sawdust and it filled in that. And once it's stained, it's going to blend right in. All right, so the built-in is going to be going in a little niche, like I said, and there's 2 shelves above it that are already stained. So we're trying to get in the neighborhood of the same color, but don't have to worry about it that much. And it looks to be some poplar or maple that's in there, real tight grain. This is going to be pine, so it's not tight grain at all. The stain's going to look different no matter even if it was the exact same stain. So what I'm going to do is do a 2-part, use a honey oak and a colonial maple. So it'll be a brown with some orange background in it. So I was trying to decide whether or not I wanted to start with the darker color and then do the orange on top, but I think I'm going to do the orange below and then do the brown on top. That orange background is quite unattractive, but it'll just give us that light background of orange, and as soon as we put the honey oak over it, it's going to tone that down and make it a lot nicer. Alright, so here it is with the honey oak on top of a colonial maple. You can definitely see that tone down that orange, and it brings out some good highlights in the wood. So pretty happy with the way it turned out. So we'll let her dry down and then put on 2 or 3 coats of polyurethane. Alright, so here is coat number 3 of a matte polyurethane. This really dries down to a matte finish. Kind of wish it had a little bit more shine to it. So we'll see how the 3rd coat turns out and see if we need a 4th one, because since this will be a work surface, it's going to get some action, some things moved around on it. So turning out good. It's a water-based polyurethane. I've got a fan pointed at it to help dry because I have no patience, but I'm whipping through the coats pretty quickly. Here it is with 4 coats of a matte finish polyurethane on it. I think it turned out really nice. Sanded in between coats so it's nice and smooth, and I think it's going to go pretty well with the shelves that are going to be above it in the niche. So this is the end of part 1. Part 2 will be the installation. Thanks for watching.